Here we go. It is Sunday, August 11th, and the Yankees just split a 4-game set in Toronto. We had a really good performance by Masahiro Tanaka. Gio the God did some God stuff. Talkman still is alive. Gardner got ejected for not saying a word. And the Yankees are coming back home. Let's talk Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy. All right, everybody. Thank you for click and play, hanging out with us today on this Sunday night. If you're a patron, Monday morning. If you are your average Talking Yanks listener, my name's John Boy. I'm coming to you from New Jersey. I got my co-host Jake coming to you from Denver, where the sun's still out. Jake's wearing a sweatshirt, but he's hot. How you doing, Jake?
I'm good, Jim. I am warm. You a couple moments ago, you said you were envious of me because I was wearing my sweatshirt, and you're like, "Oh, you're all jazzed up for fall. We know that." No, I'm just sweating away. I just keep making the tactical error of throwing this on. I'm like, yeah, I'm just taking the dog out for a second. Let me put this on. Oh, yeah, it's still summer. It's 95 degrees out. I'm dripping sweat. And the other thing I'm going with, Jim, is I saw a show at Red Rocks last night. And, Jim, I told you I was wearing my grout fit, which for those of you that don't know, including yourself, is an all gray outfit. That's kind of like it's a classic hungover wear that everyone throws on their gray. And I know you kind of live a grout fit life with a lot of blue too.
Yeah, I'm over that term. Not into that at all. Grout fit.
Everyone else is.
When you wear gray. What's when you wear black? Black fit?
No, you definitely can't say that in 2019. No, it's just it's like a known term that it's a hungover outfit. You kind of just throw on your gray clothes, your grout fit.
You're such a millennial, dude.
Yeah, man. Keep up.
Grout fit. It's lame. Anyway, had like kind of a mixed bag series here. Mixed bag series. We got to get into it. First, though.
How are you?
I'm good. I went to the store, got a sandwich, got a drink. I had to turn the AC off, so it's going to get hot. Red Sox, Angels. Angels just took the lead in extras. I like that. Not that I'm worried about Boston in the slightest, but it's always good. I'm excited to talk about the series. I'm so excited to have a day game on a getaway day. We've been doing these at like midnight.
Yeah, this is really nice. You're right. That's a little back end for us that we're not exhausted just drudging through the episode. We'll bring the noise. And Jim, I know you're saying we're not worried about the Red Sox because we're genuinely not. What if I just told you the Orioles beat Houston with Verlander on the mound? Houston came back in the ninth, and then Ozuna blew the save to them. So for all you Yankees fans that were freaking out that we lost a couple road games to the Blue Jays, Houston just lost to the Orioles with Verlander because a reminder, this is baseball, and you're going to lose a couple games. So, Jim, that's where – well, no, let's go to the Patreons first. I don't want to get running without giving our love first.
You're mad at people? I wasn't tuned in to Twitter during those losses as much as I usually am because I honestly didn't care. So I couldn't even go – I couldn't even fathom people caring, so I didn't want to go look at people's reactions and takes. Because I just could not care less.
Well, yeah, Jim, and I mean, you can imagine. I mean, there's back-to-back losses, which send Yankee fans into a fit this year, and it's against the Blue Jays, who aren't a good team. But, Jim, my thing is, you can look at it like that. The world ended. We lost 2 games. Sure. Or how about we just went on a 7-game road trip and went 5-2?
Yeah, it was good.
That's pretty good. So yeah, I don't know all the I was gonna say anarchists. That's not a good term. All the negative Nancys were out a little bit, and then look at that. We split the we don't even lose the series. We split the series on the road. We have a really nice road trip, and reminder: Justin Verlander and the Astros just lost to that Orioles team we saw a couple days ago that will be giving up the most home runs in Major League history. So baseball.
Baseball. This episode of baseball.
Baseball.
This episode of Talking Yanks is brought to you by Chris Lagasse. Yo, we do this. So we do this just to let everyone know. We do the same thing on Talking Baseball, where we shout out to people that support us at the top of the show because we appreciate them, and people like hearing their names read off, and it's fun. And there was a really Polish name, Jake. Do you remember? He DM'd me on the Talking Baseball Patreon and was like, "Dude, you absolutely nailed my last name." I think it's what gets me highest is when people let me know I got their last names correct.
Well, and all the doobies you smoke before you do your end of game recap videos. Whoa! You blazing again, John Boy? Those glassy eyes?
My eyes didn't even look glassy today. It was a day game, so I didn't spend the whole day staring at a computer. And I still got some comments, and I was like, dude, my eyes look like normal, nice blue eyes in that video. So why don't you go lick a cut?
Nice blue eyes. Good for you, dude.
Oh, it's the only good thing I was born with. And you can't really, brag about it. I was born with them.
Jimmy with the pretty eyes.
Oh, yeah. Won best eyes in middle school.
Not bad.
Thanks. Jules Hayes.
Jules Hayes.
You like the name Jules? I like the first name Jules.
I think I do, and I was just going to say, I think Jules, if you're named Jules, I think that's a giveaway that you're going to have, good eyes.
Oh, wow, you can't be Jules with bad eyes?
I don't think so. I think, I have a whole theory on eyes. So we'll save that for another episode, but I think Jules is a good eye name.
Oh, man, Euphoria's got a character named Jules, I think, and she's bleeding out of her eyes. It's the first thing that comes up when you Google Jules. So tough start for you. Anyway.
No, great start for me. Go on.
Next up, Chris Cervantes. Yo, I know Cervantes, Nikki Cervantes. What's up, Nikki? If you're brothers with Chris, I think I know that you're not. Anyway, I like that last name, Cervantes. Curtis Dunaway.
Yep.
Not doing much for me. Curtis.
Great reliever name. You're Dunaway.
Coney was having so much fun with puns today.
Oh my God, he was gone.
Andrew Short, been there. Johnny Harrison, Jay Hare.
Johnny Harrison, good little league name.
Jared Denz.
Ooh.
Max Scheinblum.
Yep.
And Emmett Fuchs.
Excuse me? Ash Finkter says what?
Emmett Fuchs. It's probably Fuchs.
Fuchs. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of language, but yeah, I mean, Emmett Fuchs is his name. There.
He has before.
You don't know that.
Guessing.
It's a guess. But you don't know that.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah. Emmett, reach out to us and let us know if you've fuchsed before.
He's probably fucked up an apple, thrown it at a wall or something before.
Again, maybe actually probably not. I'm gonna say that Emmett has not thrown an apple at a wall before.
I guarantee he has.
No chance.
Ground counts as a wall as well.
I mean, that's so wrong. I can't even. I don't know where to start.
No, I think Emmett smashed an apple before.
Emmett, reach out to us with your apple tendencies. Jimmy, who are these people again?
Most recent Patreon sponsors, $2 a month, patreon.com/talkingyakes. Help keeps things afloat here, helps a lot. Helps a lot taking advantage of things. What the fuck does that mean? It helps us out. We appreciate it. 2 jerseys.
For the taking advantage.
Yeah, 2 jerseys each month get given away, one via raffle, one via contest. We need to get the contest for August coming up soon, Jake. We need to think of something. And then you get live access, early access, Carl, Wavy, Mark, they're hanging out in the chat right now. And teaser, we have our next Talkin' Yanks at the Stadium event will be announced soon. Patreons will get first crack at buying those tickets just like last time.
Yeah, so you get some perks with the Patreon. It really helps us, or whatever that little weird phrase Jimmy said a minute ago. And Yeah, check it out, Jim. I was doing the math. We've given away 10 jerseys so far this baseball season. It's pretty good.
5 months.
5 months. So, yeah, and that's that's pretty cool. So come check it out. Patreon.com/talkingyanks.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Injury updates, roster moves. What do we got to cover before we get into Burns? Breivik got sent down.
Breivik sent down, Tarpley to the IL, Holder to the IL. As we speak, Brady Lale and Joe, what's his last name? Tingley?
Schmo?
It's definitely not Joe Schmo.
That's his middle name?
I don't think it could be his middle name. Relief pitcher Joe Yankees. That's my Google search. Not Joe Harvey. Nope.
Why don't you just search Yank?
I was trying to be quick about it, Jim. I took a chance. I didn't know if you were going to go for it or not.
Dude, how funny is it that that it's Joe Mantiply? Joe Mantiply and Brady Lale. Brady Lale getting the call up was pretty cool because he's been in the system forever. No idea who Joe Mantiply is. Don't think he was worth opening the show with, but we did.
Yeah, we just claimed him, I think, from Cincinnati. And it was like, okay, yeah, Cashman claimed someone cool. He'll be in the minors, and, well, now he's technically on the team. I think the bigger news around that, and Jim, we talked a little bit about this on the pregame show, which, again, maybe our last promotion for a little bit. Maybe it's not. Pregame show is now on all the podcast apps and stuff. What are we saying? It's a top 20 baseball podcast, Jim?
Yeah. Right now on Chartable, which maps over all the apps, Talking Baseball is number 1, and Talking Yanks is number 3, and R2C2 is number 2. And Talking Yanks pregame show is in the top 15. And I won't rest until Talking Yanks and Talking Baseball are in the top 1, 2 for baseball podcasts.
Yeah, so Emmett,
do what you can.
Emmett fucks with us. But Jim, something that you mentioned on the pregame show, which totally got overlooked. I mean, we'll talk about some of the pitchers the Yankees threw this series. We just talked about the couple randos the Yankees called up. We still got like a pretty good injury bug. Like, we're missing CC. He should be back soon. Johnny Lasagna is twirling it in the minors. I wouldn't be shocked if he comes up in the next 48 hours or so. And yeah, like there's more help on the way. And I think that was the other thing that kept you and I kind of calm. When you look at who pitched games 2 and 3 of this series, we went Happ to Nestor to 1 inning of Canely when we were already down 6. Or we got down 6. And then in the other game we lost, we went Chad to Tarpley to Chance. So, we are still throwing some bodies out there, and it's like, oh, you think the Yanks need a pitcher? Not as much as you're saying, because we still have bodies hurt and guys that are coming. So there's that.
Yeah, I have a whole spiel about that coming later, I guess.
Later spiel coming. Make that noise, the later spiel noise.
Waka waka waka.
All right. So be ready, folks.
Be ready. Anyway, just to let you guys know, Joey Mantiply has given up 1 home run in his major league career to Kenny Vargas. So he walked Lindor. He's not a factor. I mean, he probably will be up soon. He's up. He's with the team, right?
Yes.
We may see him on these doubleheader days coming up, but I hope Johnny Lasagna gets called up and Mantiply down.
Jim, that's a great call. It's a doubleheader tomorrow. They're going to use both those guys, and I think Johnny Lasagna comes up after those games. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Any updates on Betances and Sevy and Stanton? I know that Boone said he expects Stanton to be with the team. He expects him to be a player. Like, they're not ruling that out yet. Sevy threw the 23 pitches. I don't think we have a new update, but he felt good. Betances, he hasn't thrown off a mound yet. It's supposed to be this Monday, right? It's supposed to be tomorrow or Tuesday?
I believe so. And yeah, Jim, the Sevy threw 23 pitches for those of you that, just follow us through here or maybe just follow the Yankees kind of through the podcast and some of the games, and you didn't know, Sevy threw off the mound Friday, 23 pitches, fastballs, and changeups. So knock on wood, or if you're religious, or you gotta. Are there good voodoo dolls? Would we want a voodoo doll in this situation? No, right?
I might start selling voodoo dolls of you on our store.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So Sabathia threw a bullpen today, I think. Sabathia threw a bullpen, and Betances is supposed to throw Monday. So maybe as you're listening to this, Betances is throwing off a mound.
And Giancarlo's doing stuff, not baseball activities yet. Or he's swinging, right?
Swinging off a tee.
Woo!
I think so. I don't know. Who else? Glaber's played. Gary's back. Voit and Edwin, no updates, right? Voit was doing stuff and just texting Boone saying it felt really good and it was really nice.
So that's cool.
And Hicks was at the stadium. He watched the soccer team that plays out of the stadium from the bullpen seats. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's all I got on him.
That is cool. Imagine Boone getting that text from Voit. Hey, coach, I'm doing stuff. Feel really good.
Yeah, you
all
can't
right.
You can't trust the player.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's get into the games then, Jake.
Let's do it.
We got 4 to do.
4 games.
4 games. Here's number 1. Are these burns brought to you by anyone?
I don't think the burns are. I think the awards might be.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Jakey Burns brought to you by Marist College. If you're looking for colleges, maybe look at Marist.
No, we are a Firm Central podcast.
I was just reading my mug.
I know you were.
Okay,
Your sister went to Marist. How about that?
Yeah, my sister went there.
Yeah.
And I got punched in the face there.
Also true.
On your mark, get set, burn!
Domingo on a Thursday, Herman versus Thomas Pannone, who, like Freda Felcher, is the pride of Cranston, Rhode Island. But Tommy Pannone is just a mere mortal against a god, Jim. Gio to God, not once but twice. 2 2-run homers, both score LeMahieu. How about that? And here's a little splash of Kill a Cam, RBI single for Maben. Walk like a man, talk like a man. Mike Tauchman, yard job. Jim, through 3, it's 8-0 Yanks. Domingo would run into trouble in the 5th, but would finish with 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Those pesky Jays, Jim. Fisher, Bichette, and Reese's Pieces McGuire all go yard. But La Machina and Talk Daddy have a couple 2 RBI singles later to keep it out of reach. We go Mingo to Chad to 3 innings. Sessa for the save. Yanks win 12-6 final. Final countdown.
I was one day off on the pregame show. I was like, when we go into Toronto, we've been playing bad there. Katie Stats had the whole stat how it's our new house of horrors. The Yankees, it's like the only place in the AL they have a losing record since a certain date or something like that. And I was like, I don't know. This might be a letdown day. Travel day in Toronto where they don't usually hit that well. It might be a stinker today. I was wrong. I was one day off. The Baltimore Bats were still hot. They did not cool down overnight. And they came out and put, 8 up in the first 3 innings? It was like, holy shit.
8 through 3, yeah. And I mean, it's the guys that it's always going to be in the back of our head that we're expecting Gio and Mike Tauchman to come back to earth. And, there's no reason to, but you just expect it with baseball. So after that Orioles series, you're like, okay, things are going to slow down again. Nope. Gio, it's 2 yardies in his first 2 ABs, and then Tauchman gets one. And it's just like, damn, man, these guys are good.
Damn,
Daniel.
Talk's pretty fun. Gio with 2 homers. So he comes off from, he was sitting because he was hurt a little bit. 2 homers to end the Baltimore game series, and then 2 homers to start the Toronto one. Crazy. Dude's nuts.
Crazy.
What was the pitching in this one?
So this game, Mingo to Chad to 3-inning Sessa for the save.
And how did we feel about Herman?
I don't know. It's one of those tough ones where you look at the final line and you're like, that's, with all the Yankees quote unquote concerns coming up with their starting pitching, you don't love that line. But at the same time, it was 8-0 after 3. So, that changes everything. It changes the way you pitch, changes the way the game path and everything. So I don't know. It's not great. It's not bad. We're okay with it.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to keep him out there when it got up to 8-0. Domingo's innings limit is definitely something we need to monitor and keep an eye on how they handle it. So when it got to 8-0, I was like, all right, they're going to give him 5 because even though wins don't matter, pitchers like getting their win. It's like a pride thing. Yes. So get him through 5. And then I was like, if he gets through a clean 5, I was so interested. Okay, are they going to put him out there for 6? Are we going to start saving him in blowouts? But he had a terrible 5th inning. Home run, ground rule double, home run to open it. I was like, all right, well, they're definitely not putting him out for the 6 now. So we didn't really get an answer to that question. And I think eventually we're going to see them pull him early, skip a start, something to monitor this innings pitched limit before the playoffs because they need him in the playoffs. He needs to be part of the playoff situation. And we didn't get any answer, any clue from this game. But
yeah, and I think we're heading that way, Jim, and I think we would have gotten the clue if he didn't have that rough 5th inning because he does land at 90 pitches. So, yeah, I think if the inning goes a little better for Mingo, and he lands in the 80s, I still think he probably gets pulled there, especially with the 8-0 lead, and that would have been the first hint of that. But, yeah, you're right. We still don't know, but you have to think that. You have to, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to see because they didn't do it his last start. They threw him out there for the 7th inning when they didn't need to.
Are you still dreaming of Chad Mingo?
No, I think it's going to be Mingo.
Let him start it?
He's been good.
He's been good.
I think they can use Chad other places.
Not in the field, right?
Anywhere.
You think they could use Chad anywhere?
I mean, he does field balls during batting practice.
Yeah. He's athletic.
Yeah. Sessa, the man.
Sessa has been doing his job, and that's all I have to say about that.
I'm excited. I don't want to buy into the realness of Luis Sessa, but it's pretty fun, Jake, because you don't like it at all.
ERA's down to 3.7. Jim, I come up with a lot of weird, bad comparisons. He is an ex-girlfriend, boyfriend that is just baiting you back and telling you this time's going to be different, and then it's going to break my little heart again. And I'm just too fragile for that, man.
He's only had 4 bad outings out of 30.
I almost tweeted it out today, Jim, because we do the pitching path to victory on the pregame show. And Sessa, the guys available today was pretty much Chapman, Britton, and Sessa. Or it was the new guys we called up, Brady Lale and Joe Tingley or whatever. And I was sitting there like, hey, if Tanaka gets through 5 or 6, give Dad some Sessa. And that's a scary feeling because I know he's going to break my heart.
He's had 30 outings this season. And from my method, he's had 6 bad ones.
The John Boy method.
Yeah. So 1 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, brutal. 1.2 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, that's bad. 1 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, that's bad. 0.1, 2 earned runs, that's bad. And then any that was 1 inning pitched with 1 earned run, that's bad as well. And he's only had 6 of those out of 30. You know how many scoreless he's had?
How many scoreless?
Fucking 15.
He's I just don't know, man.
It's pretty funny.
Right. You know what, Sessa? Twirl it. Just be awesome the remainder of this season, and then we will flip you for someone else, and that would be great, man.
I'm preparing you for playoff Sessa.
Just like a little bit of my soul just left me, man.
He's gonna have an Evaldi moment. Extra innings. We need length. Sessa comes out, twirls 3 scoreless innings and extras. Jake now paints his body in an image of a Luis Sessa mural on your body.
Are you picturing drawing Luis Sessa's body over
your
my
body.
entire body? Okay.
Yeah.
He's a lot prettier than me. Latin Andy Pettit.
Yeah. His middle name is Enrique. That's why.
Kike.
Yeah. So anyway, there's enough Sessa talk. Game 1, the Sessa show.
Yeah, if you came here for deep dives about the depths of our bullpen today, you got it.
Sessa most likely isn't on the playoff roster. Just for anyone that didn't thought I was serious.
Oh, dude, you have me a little scared there. I'm crunching the numbers and the bodies in my head right now, but I mean, not to jump forward to game 2, but I mean, Sessa would be on the playoff roster over Happ right now, I think.
Yeah, maybe. They might be fighting for a spot.
Fucking crazy thought.
Well, let's go to game 2.
Emmett Fox. Yeah, let's do game 2.
On your marks. Get your sets. And burn.
J.A. Happer versus the Blue Jays. Lad Sean Reed fully on the bump. And Toronto, what's that accent? 2 players who have the luck of the Irish versus the Yanks. Randall, the MFer of all MFers, Grichuk, and Teoscar Hernandez. They both leave the park early, Jim. 3-0 Jays after 2. But let's give them something to talk about. Mikey T with a 1-run homer. Then an absolute crusher. Danny Jansen, 3-run tank job after the defense gave the Blue Jays a couple extra outs. Even being Ford tough wasn't enough for the Yanks, Jim, as he goes yard. Happ to Cortez to Canely. Jays win 8-2 final. Ew. Ooh.
Yeah, not a fun game. Kind of like I was asking for a challenge after the big win in game 1. I was like, damn, are we going to roll through Toronto easily again? And then credit to Toronto because they have a future in place. Baltimore does not. Toronto, if you're a Toronto fan, you're not mad. And that's why Padres fans are in the same place, but Padres fans are so angry. I don't get it.
Yeah.
If you're a Toronto fan, you have your future in place. It's looking pretty fun for you guys.
This will be our love to Toronto segment. Man. I'm Jim, I'm a big believer. World Series is tough to repeat. I'm a big fan of that cliche. I'm also a pretty big sophomore slump cliche. So I think there's going to be some growing pains for Toronto next year. But dude, 2021, those Jays might be mean, man. Biggio, Bichette, Vladdy, Teoscar, if he's got it figured out. Reese McGuire's a pretty good catching prospect. They've got a lot of pieces. It'll be interesting to see what they develop pitching-wise and what other pieces they can bring into town.
Yeah. As long as Randall Grichuk, gets hurt, that'd be happy because he's a fucking pest, dude. Opens up this game with a home run off Happ. It's like, come on, dude. No one likes you. Stop doing that. Then Teoscar gets Happ. Bad outing by Happ. And credit to the people that tweet at me during games because I was waiting to get tweets like, I can't believe we didn't get pitching, blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to say, Happ's not on the playoff roster. Happ doing bad has nothing to do with if we're going to be good or bad in the playoffs. So this is not indicative of our playoff strength or weakness. Happ's not part of our playoff roster. Currently, something drastic would have to happen for him to be there. So it holds no bearing over like how good we're going to be. Like, if Paxton or Tanaka suck, those guys are currently the guys trying. So I get the complaint there. I didn't see a lot of it on my feed. I didn't go out of my way, but I never do. It's just whatever comes to me. But yeah, so if you're upset that Hap blows, you can be upset because we have him on the books for a couple more years. But baseball's like Hap can be very good next season, and be like, wow, that's crazy. He was so bad. That's just how baseball works. Right now, he's not part of our playoff roster. So anything he does, like, I'm not even upset with Hap. I am, but like, it's not worth getting upset about.
Yeah, it's official, like, pretty much a bad season in the books. Like, even if Hap puts together the next month and a half, that's not going to change too much. And yeah, I mean, he did again. Like, he got touched up early by those two guys that killed the Yankees, Grichuk and Teoscar. And then it kind of looked like he was settling in again. And then that Jansen homer, obviously just a backbreaker, and you're not going to excuse it because he served up the meatball to Danny Jansen. But yeah, I mean, it was just, I don't know. Happer's tough to believe in right now.
What really sucked is that because Hap did so poorly, we brought in Nestor. I don't know why. I don't know if there's other options at this point, but I would have much rather Nestor for game 3 than 2. But Nestor looked okay, and then Tommy Kahnle gets beat again, another Teoscar home run. You worried? You care? It's like 2 in a row now? Okay.
No. He came back the next game, and he looked like lights out Tommy. I don't know if he was too jazzed up or what was going on. Him and Vlad, he was staring at him. Jim, we've completely buried the lead.
Yeah, the story of this game was not the game.
Was the game not?
Cheese. That's cheese too. That's also cheese. That's also
Jim, what happened
cheese.
in this game?
It's a Deep Tracks Borat blooper.
Yeah, holy
reference.
Yikes.
Dude, Gardner gets thrown out for not saying a word. I did a little breakdown on it. If you didn't see it, Cameron Maybin gets rung up on a ball that's down. He's mad about it. Boone yells at the ump. Not even yells, just kind of like, I love when Boone gets in this mode. It's like, it's just bad. It's just a bad call. Cracks me up. And then they're sitting in the dugout. Gardner's banging on the roof, not saying a word, because Gardner has learned that if he throws his helmet, he can get hurt. If he says words, he can get ejected. There's nothing in the rule book that says he can't bang his helmet or bang his bat on the ceiling. So he's doing that, not saying anything. Next pitch to Tauchman, gets called a strike. Cameron Maybin says, it's fucking terrible, let's go. Ump hears that, thinks it's Gardner.
Right.
And just throws Gardner out without even looking. Rucco really liked the term no-look hook.
The no-look hook.
Boone comes out and asks him, do you know who you just threw out? Which is hilarious. It was Gardner. And Gardner finding out that it was him is a really good gif.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty funny. Pretty ridiculous. The umps this whole series were rather brutal. I hate complaining about umps.
Right.
I don't even want to do it that much on the show. They were bad. But throwing a guy out and not being sure who it is, Gardner summed it up in his postgame. I think, the game moves fast, and he's a rookie umpire, is moving too fast for him.
Yeah. Yeah, Gardy with some nice digs in the presser after.
Such a good presser.
So the Gardy press conference, if you haven't seen it, look it up because he crushed it. He's dropping almost some parent lines. He's like, yeah, he threw me out and he kind of made a mistake. That's fine. But, to lie about it after. Yeah. It's like, oh.
I said I didn't say anything. He said he saw me say something, which made me kind of mad because he was lying. That's so good. Then later on, someone, I don't know what reporter it was, asked, do you think he'll go watch the video and do you think he'll apologize to you? And Gardner just shot a quick, not interested.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Kindly no thank you. And yeah, Jim, I commented it on the Talking Yanks Instagram. Dude, that whole press conference, he reminded me so much of Scott Kahn, man. Oh my God! I think when they do this Yankees movie that's not going to be made, but we're thinking about, I've got Scott Gahn firmly as Gardy.
Yeah. I'd have him playing Cole Calhoun, too, so they're all the same person.
Oh wow, the angry right fielders. Well,
Left fielder.
corner outfielders.
Corner outfielders, yeah. Yeah. The umps are brutal, man.
Yeah, dude. I again.
What about the Cameron Maben where they said it was a foul ball? It was a swinging bunt and he was on first base?
That was unbelievable. I got visibly angry at that one because there's a chance to rally around that because good things happen when Cameron Maben's around the baseball. But yeah, dude, I had kind of what you're talking about. You get this after a lot of Rays series. Like, I was just so done with the field in Toronto and the umps. Like, I was just done looking at it. It just seemed after every turn something bad was happening. Like, there's a check swing today on Mike Ford that was just unbelievable. Like, he didn't like break his wrists or anything really. He just like turned his shoulders and they called it a swing. So I don't know. I definitely got more fed up with the umps than I normally do this series, but it is what it is.
There was another call today where like Ruocco called it safe on the broadcast, and the ump called him out, judge out, another swinging bunt. Those ones are bad. Now I think the strikes, it's just too hard. I don't think the umps are bad. I just think every human will be bad. I think they're throwing too fast. They have too much movement. I think it's getting too hard for humans to do it. Like, I'm not trying to say the umps are terrible. I think no one would be good at it. The other plays, like that Cameron Maben swing bunt and then judge at first, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
the judge at first one, I know it got corrected immediately, but how does that umpire make that call when everyone from every angle, like Sterling, Ruocco, all had it safe immediately, and they're like it was so obvious. That's what I really don't get sometimes. Like, is he just guessing?
I think that the umpires this whole series felt like they were trying to anticipate what was going to happen too much. Like the umpire throwing out Gardy because he thought Brett Gardner was going to yell at him. Like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And yeah, the play at first today was laughable. You pegged it right. Like, how can Ryan Ruocco call it safe from the booth and see it accurately? And you're right there, and you call them out. It's they were poor this series.
Not the reason the Yankees lost.
No,
I'm not trying to say that in the slightest.
No,
just they were bad. They were bad. So Happ was bad. You got your home runs though, Ford and Tauchman.
Yeah, was Ben had hotness on the homer draft, and yeah, Ford and Talkie. Man, Ford is going to be interesting to see where we're at with him after this season because, man, his hard hit, like, he's hitting the ball hard. The stats aren't really there. I don't know. You wonder if he's a piece in a trade that gets thrown in at the end of the season, or you wonder what Mike Ford's baseball future looks like because some days he looks right, other days it looks like he's just one of these kind of hope to walk baseball players, but I don't know. That's a little Mike Ford.
It's a little Mike Ford. Maybe it's some more Mike Ford later. Let's go to Game 3 first.
Mike Ford. Sure.
Bullpen day without Nestor. So Game 2, we put our 9-game win streak on the line, everyone. Game 3, we put our 9-game win streak with openers on the line.
Yep.
Trying to get to 10 in any way possible. Let's see what happened. Jake, are you ready?
Ready.
Are you set?
I am set.
Burn.
Game 3 double opener. Chad Brock Green versus Wilmer Font. Like a bad football team, we go scoreless into the fourth. Release the Kraken. Welcome back, old friend, as Gary goes scary returning from the IL. It's 1-0 Yanks. Things get grouchy in the fourth as Teoscar crushes one off Chance Adams. Yikes. 3-1 Jays, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Gio, 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 the youth of the nation. 2-run homer. We're locked up at threes, Jim. Yanks take the lead on a DJ-26 sack fly. Those are underrated. Hashtag get better, Joes. Oh, no, we are out of vino. Vladito chops one down the line. A 2-run triple for Junior, backbreaking. It's 5-4 Jays. That's your final, Jim. Kind of a tough loss.
Yeah. Yeah, they won it, and then they lost it on some badness. But I'll tell you this right here. We're talking about bad calls. The most egregious call in this entire series is that the official scorer gave Vladdy Jr. a triple on that play. I couldn't. Yeah. Someone told me that today because I didn't look at the scoreboard book yesterday. That's not a triple. I want to write that scorer in Toronto a letter and be like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
He went to third on the throw. It affects nothing and nobody, so I shouldn't be upset. I just expect you to be do your job correctly.
Yeah, and Jim, what not what you're missing, but what's happening is, Jim, think about everything that's going on in Toronto. They got all these young guys. They, like you said, they know what they're doing in Toronto. They got something coming in the next, as I said, 2021. But they've got a future building. So, Jim, anytime they can give a little extra love to their young guys, they're going to do it. We saw it in today's game. They gave Bichette a single, which probably should have been an error.
Yeah. Well, can we look into the Toronto official score? He's clearly.
I'm telling you what's happening. They're fluffing their young guys up.
But he's not part of He's not part of Toronto. He's supposed to be MLB neutral guy.
Fluff job, Jim.
That's the most egregious triple call I've seen in a while. He literally broke down after second, waited to see where the ball went, then went to third. Whatever. I don't really care. I just was shocked. The walk is what hurts. Ottavino walking Bo Bichette, who's been on fire.
Yeah.
But walk hurts. Then the Biggio single, and then Guerrero, the three kids, they get it done. I was impressed with the comeback. I was happy with that.
And these were kind of big games for the Jays, Jim. We talked about this, and we like to make our jokes as elitist Yankee fans. And, Toronto was celebrating like they won the World Series. These games were big for the baby Jays. I don't know what their goals looked like in their locker room or what they're rallying around, but these games meant something. We saw it when what's his name? Thornton got the double play ball today. He was screaming and all jazzed up. They were doing the same in this game. So, yeah, I mean, these games meant something for the baby Jays, whether it was just seeing the Yankees or something about their goals or whatever's going on. So, yeah, and it was tough. I mean, if people are into this, the WOBA or the expected batting average on that Vlad chopper was 7%. There's a 7% chance that would normally be a hit. And Jim, I don't know, some people like this, so I guess I'll say it. I'll be interested to see the next time the Yankees are in a situation like that, where a double hurts you a lot more than a single there. Because they had Mike Ford playing that middle first base position. And I think you might see the Yankees in the future have the first baseman closer to the line, because if you give up a single, you give up a single. And there's a big hole on the right side, but that is what it is. But if you let a ball go down the line, I mean, that allowed both runs to score. So that's, I don't know, a little jakey defense coming at you.
They have been the best team with shifts this season, but the best team should make changes.
I see no changes.
This game was a tough sell. Tough sell if you're a Yankees fan. I'm one of the bigger Yankee fans I know.
Sure.
A lot of people listening to the show could probably match me, though.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
As a community, we're all big Yankee fans. What a good time. Tough sell to say that you're going Chad Green, and then you need 3 to 4 innings from Tarpley and Chance Adams.
Yeah.
Tough sell. Maybe the least confident I've been going into a game this season.
Yeah, it was definitely up there, right?
Yeah. I mean, that is a huge ask to say and the bullpen. I'd rather them do this than kill someone for a game in Toronto, and pitch them more. It was just kind of the circumstance. if Happ pitched better, you can save Nestor. So I'm not mad that this was their strategy. People were like, why is Chance even on the team? And it's like, well, easy answer to that, guys, is because Jake Barrett, Dylan Betances, David Hale, Ben Heller, Jonathan Holder, Jonathan Lasagna, Montgomery, CeCe Sabathia, Severino, and now Tarpley are on the IL.
Yeah.
And you're only allowed a certain amount of pitchers. It's like not that
basically a whole nother staff.
Yeah, you're not that many options left. Chance Adams, I hate to be firm about this. He's not good.
Right. No.
It's stuff. I texted you. He throws one really good curveball an inning, and it gives you hope that can be his curveball all the time, but it's not. He's got a poor pitch mix, and whatever. He's not that good.
Maybe he'll go to Houston someday and he'll harness that one curveball an inning. And yeah, Jim, you're absolutely right. And I think it's funny, when I was crunching my head about Luis Cessa making the playoff roster, a low-key big injury was David Hale, man. So a little love for the Hailstorm. He's been a really big part of this team this year, giving them 3 solid innings whenever they need it, twice a week. That's a huge role in Major League Baseball now.
It is. What's Hale's status?
I don't know if we have a Hale update.
So you're saying we skipped Hale on the injury list, and that was rude of us. We need to. It was his back, lumbar spine strain. A timetable to return has not yet been established.
Yeah, so he's been had hurt. Dude, David Hale's numbers on the year, man: 37 innings pitched, 2.89 ERA. Man, yeah, we could use that guy.
Yeah.
Instead of Chance Adams.
Offensively, this game, Gary made his return, hits a home run. That was nice. We liked that.
Yep.
Gio got hit by a pitch. We did not like that.
Didn't like that.
And then there was nothing else really. I mean, then the Gio home run, then the sac fly by LeMahieu, who took a ball right to the face before that and was not happy about it.
No.
Not happy at all.
Yeah, and Jim LeMahieu, man, that was really cool because in my head, I mean, runner on third, less than 2 outs. I was actually telling myself, I think DJ goes up there and is like, I will get a sac fly here, and he did that, because he can do that.
So I thought he got hit in the face, and then he had a 2-0 pitch. So he swung really hard at the 2-0 pitch, if I'm remembering correctly. And I was like, man, he wanted to fucking shove it in that guy's face right there. Okay. Then I had DJ collecting himself and being like, Come on, DJ. Come on. Fly ball gets it done too.
Get that running. Yeah, and that was the other. There was a lot of up and in this series, man. And that's, again, with this series kind of meaning a lot to the Blue Jays. I was thinking things might escalate, and I was like, we don't need to do this. So that was another, I guess, mini frustration from this series.
All right, update from the chat, and then I checked it. Hale threw a 30-pitch bullpen on August 8th. Should be back soon.
Okay, so that was nice. Cool.
I mean, yeah, if that puts him above Chance, that's great.
And that's the thing. I mean, Johnny Lasagna, I think, will be on the team next week. I mean, what does that mean for David Hale? Is he potentially on the team next week or hell, even 2 weeks, whatever? Can Dylan Betances come back at some point? There is still a lot of help that can be on the way. CeCe, so knock on wood, keep guys healthy, get guys healthy, win. Put that on a shirt.
Say it again so I can remember it for the shirt.
No idea what I just said.
Dude, Tarpley walks the bases loaded. Dude, Tarpley can't control his own pitch. He's got the nastiest slider. The problem is our catchers can never catch it.
Yeah.
And he can never really throw it for a strike. And then, with the bases loaded, Bo Bichette comes up and he throws 3 in a row and strikes him out.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
He's got a cut slider. Yeah, I don't really know when it looks right. It looks like really cool, and then most of the time it doesn't. So
You know how you say when Cam's in the game, good things happen?
yeah,
When Tarpley's in the game, it's almost painful. He looks like he's struggling and uncomfortable on the mound. The catchers are always on the different page. He leads the team in cross-up, pass balls, wild pitches. They always look like, oh shit, I hope I can catch this one. So he's just throwing like slider darts at the feet. Then there's walks galore. I'm kind of out. Like, Tarpley does not make me feel good on the mound. I was all in last year, all out this year. He's hurt now, so there's no problem.
I'm trying to think of my Tarpley. It's almost like what do they call that? A sandwich compliment when they say nice thing, bad thing, nice thing.
Yeah.
It'll be like, okay, wow, you struck a guy out. Okay, then you walked two guys and you had two pass balls and a run scored, and then another scored on a sac fly, and then you struck out the team's second best hitter. And it's just like, what are we doing, Tarp?
That's what I'm saying.
Tarp Vegas.
Ooh. Tarp Vegas. What?
What?
You want to burn game 4?
I think I could burn game 4 for you, Jim.
Second bookend the series with wins. Talk about sandwiches. This was the wins were the bread, and the losses were the meat.
Wow, this series was a compliment sandwich.
Whoa,
that's heavy, man.
That is heavy.
Damn.
Wow. Okay, on your mark, get set, burn.
Game 4 in Toronto, Jim. Tyler Thornton, here's a who versus Jim. The 6'3", 215 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal from Komadai Tomakomai High School in Japan. The 30-year-old November 1st, 1988 birthday, Masahiro Tanaka. Jim, this team needed a hero, and they got it. 8 innings pitched of clinical pitching performance by Masahiro Tanaka. He goes 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 Ks. Jim, the Yanks need a run. Who's going to do it? Jim, how about I hate Brett Gardner? He's still doing it. He crushes a double. Urshela the God scores. Jim, that would be, I don't know if you knew this, only run scored in that game. Toronto went Thornton to Gaviglio, my guy, with the cannolis on 6. Tanaka to Chapman. Jim, with a little icing on the cake, one of the best pitcher-batter at-bats this year, a rolled ice Chapman versus Vladito Guerrero. Chappie gets him this time. I don't know how I feel about Chappie seeing him in the future, to be completely honest. But Yanks get a win. They split the series. Let's go, Yanks.
The sun will come out. Tanaka. Bet your bottom dollars that Tanaka, there will be sun.
Anyways.
That
was the first time I was really sad that the soundboard's broken.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, man.
Sorry about the soundboard.
You did a nice rendition, though. Thank you.
I did my best. I tried my hardest.
That's all we can ask, right? Speaking of try your hardest and doing your best, how about your guy, Jim?
Tank. It's good. New splitter. I mean, I don't know, man. The new splitter looked good last game, but the results weren't there. New splitter looked good. The slider was still his best pitch in this outing, but big game Tanaka. Needed the win today. Needed to save the pen. He knew the situation. Only Britton and Chapman were available. Otto threw 30 pitches the day before. Canely threw 2 in a row. You're not going to want to pitch them if you're Boone, especially with a doubleheader the next day. I mean, minimum, we needed 7 from Tanaka. Otherwise, we were going, no matter the score, to the likes of Luis Sessa, Brady Lale, or Joe Schmo. So,
tough episode for Joe Schmo Schmingley.
Oh, Joe got traded to the Yankees. Let's listen to a podcast about them talking about the move. That's his parents.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Schmo.
We're rooting for you, Mr. and Mrs. Schmo, but you have to understand where we're coming from.
Thank you for understanding. Anyway, he was good. I mean, it's cool to get a game like this every now and then. Yankees have been putting overs all over the board. They've been scoring a ton of runs.
Yeah.
Good for that dude, Thornton. He looks like the biggest. He reminds me of a specific kid that played for my brother's baseball team.
Here we go.
That when I coached my brother's little league team. So he just kind of looks like him, but attitude-wise, like, so, like, fired up, but, like, such a little prick, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Thornton gives off the vibe that, like, we wouldn't be friends with him.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
He's, like...
And maybe we're wrong, Trent, but...
kind of that, like, nerdy fired up vibe.
Yeah, like he played baseball as an outlet to like get his anger out growing up.
Yeah, that's the vibe I get. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. You got anything for this game? You want to move on to awards? I mean, it's a good game. 1-0 game. How much can you really say?
1-0 game. The Jays got that nice double play when you thought, you know, a little slapper really would have been a dagger, and then there was that slight moment of fear, like, holy smokes, like, did they just get all the momentum? And now if they take 3 out of 4, this is going to be a sad episode and people are going to be angry, blah, blah, blah. Jim, you know it's one of my favorite phrases to say, but I mean, imagine if this game took a different route, whether the Jays had a late rally, whether Vlad clipped Chapman, or, you know, if Tanaka doesn't shove like he did today, this would be a totally different Talking Yanks episode.
Yeah, well, I'm happy it's not. And my thing, and we'll talk about Tanaka in a little bit, as long as Tanaka shows me that this is in him every couple starts, I'm a believer in playoff Tanaka.
And you should be. 30 innings pitched, a 1.5 ERA in the playoffs for Tank. And, yeah, Jim, I basically just spew shit out of my mouth all day. On the pregame show, I said, like, Tanaka's been messing with the new splitter. I wanted to see the slider back. And, Jim, I was going to say this in a mocking way that I disagreed with you on his best pitch today. I think his best pitch today was his fastball. He was 93 and putting it wherever he wanted.
Yeah. It's funny because they sit off speed and then he just drops that. And they're like, damn it, I could have hit that if I was sitting that.
Can we do a little ad for Talking Baseball? And when I say do an ad for Talking Baseball, I mean just talk about the Chapman Vlad at bat, because that was awesome, dude.
Yeah, well, before we get there, I wanted to ask you, would you have sent Tank out for the 9th?
No.
Oh, really?
Because of what David Cohn said and what we've been saying, and something that Booney's kind of gotten away from, was get your wins when they're there. And Tank, as we just talked about, his last 4 starts have been brutal. He was getting roughed up. And he came out and he gave you everything you needed. And Chapman hadn't pitched since Monday, I think. So for me, I was kind of on team pull Tank. Like, obviously, when I saw him going back out from the dugout, I was like, let's fucking go. But at the same time, it's kind of that thing we've said we've been looking for this year a little more, is like, if there's a nice win for a player and you can walk them away from that day with the win, take it. And I think today was a perfect example. I mean, Tanaka had been struggling. He comes out and he looks incredible today. You know, I mean, he lets that first runner on base. If he gave up like a homer there, like, not all is lost. You still walk away saying it's a great start. But I mean, at what cost, you know? Yeah,
I would have sent him back out. Like you said, you agree with Coney, but I thought Coney was on my side of this. Because if it was like 5-0, no need at all. But a 1-0 game, it's his game. If Chapman comes in and gives up a home run and Tank's sitting there thinking he could have finished it, like, that's just brutal for Tanaka. So I think Booney doing it's a good move for Tanaka with the shortest hook possible. So I like the way Booney handled it. When the guy got on first, Tanaka induced 2 double play balls the inning before. So I actually was like, damn, do you stay with Tanaka now?
Yeah.
Because he's inducing double play balls like crazy. It all worked out in the end. And like you're saying, that at bat versus Vlad, I'm going to do a breakdown of it as soon as we're done editing and posting and all this episode. That was awesome. I told baseball, like, promote that. Like, and everything. The first 2 pitches were 97, then 98. and he blows them by him. So then he tries to blow 2 more by him, and he ramps it up to 99 and 100, but he throws him in the dirt because he can't control it because he's ramping him up so much. Then he goes slider, foul ball, then the foul ball home run.
Yeah, it was an awesome at bat. I was like gushing like during it. I was just like, this is so great. When you watch, like that's just a cool moment, man. Like I'm gonna remember that. Like Vlad's rookie year going against Aroldis Chapman, and like it just had that vibe that like in 3 years when Chappie takes another little step down as he ages and Vlad takes a step up. Like, man, like I think there will be a day when and I guess I'm saying hopefully it's not when Chappie's with the Yankees, or maybe it's just a casual regular season game, but I mean Vladito wants that.
I was worried when it wasn't the end of the game.
Right.
And then Bichette steps in, who's been just as bad, like just as much a killer. But Bo Bichette, they got to stop him from swinging for the fences as hard as he does. He's going to pull a fucking oblique muscle. I mean, when he was swinging versus Ottavino, when he was swinging versus Tarpley with the bases loaded, he swung literally out of his shoes twice. And they did it again versus Chapman, too. Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate the get-up and the want, but crazy.
Yeah, this is getting into such old man speak, but he's going to, like, hurt his knee that way.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to awards.
Jim, awards are brought to us today.
Awards are brought to you.
Our guys at Exit Speed Swing, exitspeedswing.com. Jim, once I put this together, I've been so locked into it. It's a tool you put on the end of the bat. You're going to increase your exit speed swing by 30%. Do you think that's good, Jim?
Yeah.
If you start hitting your balls 30% further, you're going to be what, hitting it?
Shortstop, maybe? Yeah. I'll be right over the shortstop's head.
Instead of those lazy bloops you've been hitting to the shortstop, they might get down.
Or no, I've been hitting them right over the shortstop's head, so the exit speed developer might put them right in left fielder's glove.
So now you're hitting it to the left fielder. So exit speed velo might not be for you, Jim. But for you out there, if you know a ball player that's looking to get a little more oomph, it attaches to the end of the bat. I think the comparison I'm using, which they didn't give me permission to use this, but know the runners that train with the deployed, I'm going to say airbag, but that's the wrong term.
Okay,
I thought you were going to help.
Parachute?
Parachute, thank you, sir. With the parachute, I think it's similar to that. It goes on the end of the bat. Go check out their website. You'll see, speaking of the Blue Jays, you'll see Lourdes Gurriel on their website.
Lugu.
So yeah, check them out if you, or maybe you coach a team or you know somebody who's coaching a team. Get this to them. It'll make the whole team better and they'll win everything. So why wouldn't you do that?
Do you want to get better and win everything?
Yeah, exitspeedswing.com. They've even got a promo code, Talkin' Yanks, 20% off. Go check them out. They support us. We support them. Boom.
Do you know how much bats can make a difference? When I was playing softball a lot, Friday nights in California.
Yeah.
I was pretty good at getting on base and getting singles and doubles and just shooting gaps, hitting it where they're not. But I never tried to hit home runs because I'd just probably fly out.
Right.
Then this kid was like, yo, your bats suck. Like, try these bats.
Right.
And I popped one right off the center field fence. And I was like, that seems unfair.
Right.
Because, like, nothing changed in my abilities. The bat just took me from a fly out to a fence. And then I thought about college baseball, and I was like, dude, why do they use these bats in college baseball? It's so unfair.
Yeah. Scary. Imagine if you were using the exit swing velo, man. You'd be out of the park.
I know. What the hell?
Damn. What's our first award on Talkin' Yanks?
What's that?
What's our first award on Talkin' Yanks?
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees. Mine comes out too much like a parrot, huh?
It's kind of your whole life.
Yeah, I guess so. Damn.
Jake gets to go first because he loves the God. Jake, who is your pride of the Yankees?
Speaking of gods, Jim. No, I'm actually as much as oh God, but then I could leave you for Tank, but then do you take Tank? You know what, Jim? F it. I'll do it live. I'm going Gio to God Urshela.
Wow. Wow. I thought I was going to have to take him.
Well, I think you're going to do the right thing in a minute coming up, and you know, I lovers be good to your daughters. That's not the words at all. Jim, Gio Urshela, and I'll tell you why I'm losing my words and getting a little emotional.
Because you're a little bitch.
End of the season. Talking Yanks trivia question. The two positions that make Talking Jake swoon: third base and center field. Gio Urshela's diving catch today. Oh my God. That was awesome. And the book has come to us on Gio a little bit now. Like there's a couple of the routine ones. He's gonna boot a little bit, and that is what it is. He's gonna handle everything else. And it's awesome to watch when he's right. And Jim, oh, by the way, he led the team in home runs this series. He had 3 homers. He doesn't stop. And I think I started the episode there, and I'll bring it here. Like we keep expecting it to not be real and to fall off. And it's just not happening, Jim. And the thing that's even scarier now, have you seen the advanced stat player chart that comes out every now and then? It's been super popular. It's got Gio's like hard hit rate percentage, his WOBA, like your running speed.
Oh, yeah, the baseball savant chart. Yeah. Yeah,
the baseball savant like slider chart that shows how you're doing. Like Gio is almost topping like everything except like sprint speed. It's unbelievable. His contact rate, his power, man, that power swing he's found. I mean, it's no joke. It's no joke. He's hitting balls out to center. He's hitting them deep left center. And we know he can porch him at the stadium if he needed. But I'm a sucker for a good third baseman. You set me up going religious on it. So I'll go with Gio to God.
I was going to say, because I thought you were going to snag the next guy, and I was going to have to do Gio. And I was going to say, we won 2 games. And who loomed large in those 2 games? Gio makes that great play at third, opens up the next inning with the bloop, double, whatever it was. And then Gardner scores him, and he scores the only run to win the game. Game 1, Gio hits 2 home runs.
Yeah.
And the 2009 rankings that you're talking about on Baseball Savant, the what did I say?
You definitely didn't say 2009 because you keep forgetting a decade.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
2019, exit velocity, hard hit rate, X WOBA, X slugging, X batting average, they're all maxed out. Besides hard hit rates, 67th percentile. 91st for X WOBA, 93rd for slugging, 97th for X batting average, so expected batting average of the balls he hits. Exit velocity, 84th percentile. A little slow in the sprint speed. That's crazy.
It's insane, man. It's been awesome to watch. And Jim, I'm just remembering this now. Do you know who hit the line drive that Urshela caught?
Vlad Jr.
Grichuk. Of course it was.
Yeah,
of course it was. Yeah.
Good for Gio. He hadn't won a Pride 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in 10. Been 10 series since he won his last Pride.
Wow.
Yep. It's his 3rd on the season, I believe. 4th? 5th? I don't know. We got fucked, dude. Baseball's so crazy. We have a Google sheet of all the awards. There's a lot of episodes we've done. Anyway.
And Jim, no, it's full bonsai, man. Full bonsai. Like what?
What? Loser.
Operating the brain today.
You know what's full bonsai, dude?
It's full bonsai, Brett. Jim, this was
You're a weirdo.
today was Gio Urshela's 97th game. Like, he's going to end up playing, what, 130 games this year? Something like that?
Yeah.
Like, that's a full season. Like, in our heads, mentally, it's still kind of like, yeah, Gio, it's probably going to be a half season. Like, no, dude, he's riding this whole thing out. It's awesome.
If the Orioles don't throw a pickoff to third base, Gio's in the minors all year.
Crazy.
My pride of the Yankees is Masahiro Tanaka. And can I let you know how excited I am to give this dude my pride? I thank you, Jake, for taking Gio. I thought you were going to take Tank. I had to give Masahiro, the Yankee motherfucker, 2 times in the last 5 series. And it pained me, but he deserved it, and he earned it. And he's earned this pride. We needed a win to not lose the series. We needed 7 innings, like I said, because we had a short bullpen and a doubleheader the next game. He gives us 8 shutout innings. And when you really dive into his game, it's even more impressive. The first inning, like we said, they gave Bichette the single. It was an error or I don't even care how that you scored in the book. It's an out majority of the time. Gio bobbled the ball. Then in the second inning, the runner got on via error from DJ. And then he had 6 1-2-3 innings in a row after that, Jake.
Yeah.
So those first 2 innings, if his defense does what they usually do, Tank's got 8 1-2-3 innings in his game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And Jim, I know you've got we're trying to mold a John Boy starting pitching stat that's
I have it. I have it for Tank.
How often the starting pitcher keeps you in the game. What do you got, John Boy?
Yeah, so I don't know what we're going to call it. I was going to call it competes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay, competes, or maybe something around the letter like 4 or something. I don't know. We'll get there.
So there's different ways to do it, Jake. So if you go 6, it's because like quality start is 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs.
Right.
But with the Yankees offense, I'm raising it to 4. I'm not saying that's like anything to celebrate. I'm just saying you can win with that.
Right.
This Yankees team can win with 6
Yes.
innings pitched, 4 earned runs. So that right away eliminates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games from Tank out of 24. 6 are off the board. Then there's a couple I'm not going to count, like 4 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. I'm not going to add that to the compete. And 4 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He got pulled because it was a National League game. What's your call on that one?
Too scared to say.
No, that's not a compete, is what I would say.
Yeah. So what are we thinking? The compete is going to be what? It has to be 5+ innings and 4 or fewer runs?
6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 5 innings pitched, 2 or 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a compete. Okay. You're not winning Cy Young for this.
No.
You're not getting crazy things. I just want pitchers. Because Wheeler has a bad ERA, but when you look at his game log, he's been good for the Mets. He's allowed them to win games. So Tank has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bad outings out of 24, which puts him at 16 competitive starts.
So every 2 out of 3, which actually isn't that great. But
no. But his ERA at 5, well, you would think he's been garbage all season.
Right. And dude was an all-star, which, again, take that for what it is. But, Jim, I think the bigger thing is, like, we needed this today. We needed this for bullpen stuff. We needed this to calm people down about Tanaka. And let's be honest, I mean, we're big-time Tanaka stans. We kind of needed to see it, too. Like, Tanaka has built up, this whole a bank's worth of trust in us. But he's been getting rocked. And, like, at a certain point, you got to show us. And he absolutely did today. I told you my theory was he was testing the new splitter. So he was just he was experimenting, and that's why he was getting knocked around. And I was like, all right, Tank, just bring it today, and you're good. And that's what he did.
That's what he did. I was happy with it. I love when pitchers are dealing in the games like this. There always seems to be one play where it's a comebacker right to them, and they field it very easily and just throw it to first. And the announcers always say, "Man, he is in control of this game."
Yeah.
I remember it in Game 3 of the 2009 World Series. I don't know what game it was, when Cliff Lee was pitching, and it was just like a little blooper, and he just like kind of opened his glove like underhand and just caught it the way you would if you were having catch with a little 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa, dude, this is Cliff Lee's game. And Tanaka had that moment today. That's a sneaky moment I like. When pitchers are dominating, they always get a comebacker, and they're just so calm about it. They're like, this is easy.
Yeah, it's just I am fully in control of that, and it's on the other side. It's like, well, this guy's doing everything against us, huh?
Yeah. Yep. All right, who is your? Yankee motherfucker.
You Yankee mother trucker. Whew, Jim, we have options. A couple are borderline cop-outs. You know what, Jim? Screw it. And, maybe this is a cop-out, and I've learned from the best. Breivik Valera. Dude, he had a couple... Jim, we've come a long way from this phrase, low baseball IQ, because we had that guy that used to always tweet us at us, and it's like, no, that's not a low IQ.
Do you think that guy's still around? I have him muted, so I don't know.
I haven't seen him in a while, but dude, did he have 2 base running errors? He had the double he didn't score on. And then he forgot how many outs there were. He could have turned a double play. Instead, he just threw it to first and started jogging in. And it's like, dude, like, we've been messing around about him being the next analytics guy, and that they do like him, and he's been swinging an okay stick. But, dude, if you're getting your major league opportunity again and you're losing track of the outs and you're making base running errors, like, come on, man. You can't be doing that. Especially if you're trying to prove you belong. So that actually got under my skin a little bit. So for that, Breivik Valera, Vicky V gets my Yankee MFer.
Do you think they said anything about that when they sent him down? Because if you remember, I gave Vicky V motherfucker when he played only 1 game with the Yankees, and it was for the same reason. He made 2 mental mistakes in the game and was like, dude, come on.
Well, and I mean, that's what you wonder. And I mean, we've got a young guy in AAA right now, he who shall not be named, who it's not all about just if you can hit and play baseball. Like, there's a lot that goes into baseball. There's base running, fielding, all of it. Your personality in the clubhouse. And Vic Valera, and maybe I'm pegging him the wrong way, but Jim, I'll tell you what, man, if I had grinded my whole life to try to become a major leaguer, and then I was toiling around in AAA figuring stuff out, when I got my call, I'm not making base running errors. I'm not forgetting how many outs there are. So that's just a really bad look, man, especially when Thairo Estrada showed us he can play. Like, he can at least be serviceable. I know I go over the top with my Thairo stuff, but again, wow,
that's where this is stemming from.
They basically gave Breivik Valera this opportunity because he was doing good things in AAA, and he has some of the metrics. And, dude, you're going to do that stuff? No, man.
Wow, I was wondering. I was like, he's going pretty hard on him right now just for some, like, Gleyber makes mental errors all the time. Like, what are we talking about here? And then I realized Breivik stealing from the young Prince. That's why you don't like him. Okay, that adds up.
I mean, Gleyber's also 22, and at least he puts on the saddest face I've ever seen after he makes an error.
Breivik's 19.
Okay. So, Jim, I got news.
Yeah.
Breivik's 27.
Well, he was once 19 is what I said.
He was once 19 for sure about it.
Okay. Was that the news?
That was the news.
Oh, okay. All right. Tanaka forgot the outs as well today. You going to crucify him?
No, that was Jimmy. He was showing up the Blue Jays. You didn't realize that? That was Tanaka going, I'm just mowing all you MFers down. Oh, there's already 3 outs? Whoops.
I'm already done.
Oops-a-daisy.
That was easy. My
Jim.
Well, I felt like mine was a cop-out too, but it's Mike Ford.
Okay. No, I don't think so. He was going to be my other. We are locked into awards today, Jim.
A lot of people could have said, like, well, Hap. And I'm like, dude, Hap's has a bad season, and I'm over it.
I thought you might go Chance Adams, too.
That would be whatever. You got mad at me last time I went Chance.
I'm proud of you. You done good. Talk to the people about Mikey Ford.
Man, Mike Ford rakes in AAA. He's having, like, the best year ever in AAA. His numbers are so good. And we talked about this before the Baltimore series. Like, this was going to be a real shot for him. I don't know how much longer he has, but it wasn't like, hey, you're going to be filling in every third day. Like, no, dude, like, you just got gifted an everyday role on the team. I know he's trying his hardest, and it's only 28 games, so obviously I'm not saying it's damn or like this is anything. Like, he could have a great series and then break out of it. We've seen that with a million players. But he looks just like not fun at the plate, man.
Yeah,
one hit and 14 at bats, one walk. He's like, this is not who he is in the minors, and not who he was when we saw him earlier this year on the West Coast trip either. He was reminding me of Kendrys Morales, the way he hits the ball really hard to second, but he's slow. I
was just going to say he's got a bad case of the Kendrys. He just rolls it over to the second baseman in short right field, and he's out.
And then, like, the expected stats say that's good because he hit it really hard. It's like, yeah, but when you're not fast and they know exactly where to play you,
yeah,
it doesn't matter how hard you hit it. So, whatever. That's who I'm giving my award to. But I'd love to see him. Hey, we got 4 games at home against Baltimore with the short porch. So, Ford, if you want to pop some, now's your time.
And Jim, I'm glad we ended up here because this was something I wanted to say at some point in the episode. And you're right. I mean, Ford, this isn't like, hey, you're getting a couple at bats, kid. Like, no, dude, you're like starting first baseman for the New York Yankees, man. That's nuts. And he had a couple in Toronto that I think would have been gone at the stadium. So we'll see what that ends up looking like. And Jim, that's the whole thing I wanted to get into. As every series goes on now, man, that home field is becoming more and more important to me because every fly ball I see one of those guys hit that lands on a warning track in right field, I'm like, oh damn, that's gone at the stadium, and that's really starting to leak into my head.
Okay, I like that. So, when do you start monitoring the Astros?
Well, dude, I think it was today. When we were getting ready for Talking Yanks, I saw that they were losing to the Orioles. I opened the show with it, kind of. And then they rallied and took the lead, and I got sad. But then the Orioles came back and got them. So
I'm so
that's
mentally
kind of my race for the rest of the year. It's Yanks and Astros.
All right, maybe I'll start tuning in because when you said that about the Orioles thing, I didn't know like which way you were going. I didn't know why you were so excited about it. Because it's not in my radar at all. Maybe I got to start putting that on my radar. So I need to actively start. I'm not a standings guy. I never have been. But I need to actively start rooting for the Astros to start losing.
Priority is the Yankees keep winning, and then yeah, we'll see where it's at. We don't play Houston again, right? We've already done our
we've already done our things. So
yeah, I mean it's definitely on my mind now that Boston and Tampa are away from us. I think that home field like literally could be the difference because this Yankees team is made for that short porch, man.
Man.
Okay,
next up, regular old award. Jake, what's your first award you're giving out?
My first award. Jimmy, my first award is going to... Well, I know who it's going to. I don't know what I want to name it. I'm going to name it the the Tie Me Up Award, Jim.
Wow. Fetish shit.
Yeah.
Tie me up.
Kinky stuff, Jim.
Going to. It's going to Didi.
It's not going to Didi. It's going to one of his neighbors over there. It's going to DJ LeMahieu, Jim. Because I think if you're ever going to let yourself be tied up wherever that may be, you want to be with someone you trust. And Jim, I just blindly trust DJ LeMahieu, man. I mentioned that in the tie game on Saturday, he came up with the runner on third, and I'm mad at myself for not tweeting it, but I said I think he's going to literally try to hit a sac fly because he's one of the few players in baseball that I think can actually do that. And it ended up being the result. You said he did take a big hack at that 2-0 pitch. But, man, I just blindly trust him, man, and there's no reason not to, and everyone knows that, and maybe it's obvious. But we also, and I'm talking Yanks, we get caught up in some of the Breivik Valeras and Mike Fords and that stuff that it's easy to ignore that DJ LeMahieu had another series where, he had the most hits he tied for the most hits on the team. He had the third most RBIs. He was tied for the second most run scores. He just does, man. And DJ LeMahieu, just getting some Talking Yanks love, baby.
It's because he's good.
He's really good. He's really good. It's like the third best player in the AL.
Nice.
What's yours first award, Jim?
My first award is the
2
points for the escape.
Okay.
It's a wrestling thing.
2 points for the escape. That's a wrestling thing. But you do love the stories about players leaving Cuba. So it's Aroldis Chapman.
Brett Gardner.
Ooh, Bretty G, baby.
Our dude Keith commented 2 points for the escape because he escaped Aaron Boone while they were standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny, though.
Ball
Boone trying to hold Gardner back and Gardner swim move in, ducking under his arm. And then did you see when Talkman wanted to get involved but didn't know if he should get involved? It's like, you got it, coach. It's pretty good. Cameron Maben owes Gardy one.
Yeah, he definitely did.
A lot of people.
He got him dinner.
I loved how Gardner handled this because Gardner said in his postgame, I wasn't talking, which is rare because I'm always talking.
Right.
And it just reminded me of like I was a punk kid in school, but if they ever blamed me for something that I truly didn't do,
oh yeah,
you were gonna hear about it.
Yes.
And I was going to like prove it to the teacher that it wasn't me. And I was going to tell my mom they blamed me for something I didn't do. And then my mom was going to get involved. And it was going to be such a big deal. The one time that it wasn't me who did something bad out of the 10, when usually 9 others I did, I was going to blow that up. And Gardner's post-game press conference was that to a T. He milked it for all it's worth. He just got a platform, and he just went off on the umps. Yeah. There's no accountability. He hit that. He was a liar. Like he just straight up lied to me. He said he saw me say anything, which was a lie. So it got me mad. Not interested in an apology. The game moves too fast for him. A young umpire couldn't handle it. Like he went off, and I was digging it. It's like, this is exactly how I would have handled it. I got brought to the principal's office, and the teacher was wrong. And my God, did I just politic that teacher into getting in trouble from the principal and feeling like a fucking fool. She bought me a gift the next day. That's what happened to Gardner. That's what he just did. Like the wrong person to falsely accuse because he milked it. I loved it.
You done messed up. Yeah, again, I said it before. If you didn't see the Brett Gardner press conference, like, go find it. You need to find it.
It's good. All right, who you got next?
Jimmy James John Boy. I am going with the I'm Back award.
Ooh. Gary Sanchez.
Aroldis Chapman.
Wow.
Aroldis Chapman. Jim, if you remember, just a couple short weeks ago, people were talking about, do we go get Kirby Yates to close?
Who was talking about that?
Around the trade deadline, man, because that's when Chapman was having his struggles. Chapman had a stretch leading up to the trade deadline from July 15th to the 31st where he had a 9 ERA in his, 6 appearances. He was getting knocked around. He was that sloppy Chapman that we see once a year, but people get alarmist and they're like, is Chapman the right guy? Yes, he is, because his stuff is crazy. He can handle New York. And Jim, watching him acknowledge that Vlad was going to give him hell in this at bat, and Chapman said, okay, I'll go from 9 to 10, friend. That was awesome. So I don't know. I just think we are a week away from people having major concerns about Aroldis Chapman. And here we are, 4 clean appearances later. And I am not worried about him in the slightest. Chapman has his one swoon every year. I think he just had it. And, man, okay, so if you're at work right now, you're listening to us, you are laughing away. We are hilarious. So you just went and checked out the Brett Gardner interview, and you're like, man, that was pretty good. Brett brought it. Go check out the Chapman Vlad at bat. Even if you saw it live, watch Jim's upcoming breakdown of it, because it's as good as baseball gets.
As good it is. It's really good. Okay, my next award, Jake.
What's your next award? Final award.
Final award of the show, and it is the Clappies.
The Clappies. Aaron Boone. Wow.
No, wrong.
No, wrong.
Wrong. Guess again.
I'm done.
Mike Tauchman.
Talkie.
Mike Tauchman had another good series, all right? He had a 385 average and a 500 on-base percentage.
It's really good.
2 home runs, 5 RBIs in the 4 games. His road trip has been insane. He's been endeared to Yankee fans already. Like, this has been a slow build, but I think we hit the punctuation point on this road trip. And I think tomorrow at the stadium, I think he's going to get a hero's welcome. Like, I think when Tauchman steps to the plate at the stadium, it's going to be the loudest ovation he gets as a Yankee entering a situation. Because obviously you get loud cheers after you do something good. But before he even does anything, I think the crowd's gonna dress him up with some claps.
Jim, I think you see players a lot when they go through a hot streak, you want to keep that hot streak going. So you almost feel a pressure to swing the bat. You're like, I'm hot right now. Tauchman's approach is so disciplined. And, it's the corny line from earlier this year, but him, and I guess I should give a little love to Gio, those guys control the zone. They spit on pitches, if even close ones. And, Tauchman looked locked in. Like, there's no fear. He'll take the walk. He doesn't care about adding another homer. He looks awesome, man. Awesome.
Well, on this road trip, he had a batting average above 400, an on-base percentage above 500. It's a 9-game road trip. And 5 home runs and 14 RBIs. Oh, no. That's in the month of August.
And for my friends that are a fan of WAR, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Jimmy, Tauchman has played 65 games. He is now second on the Yankees in WAR. It's LeMahieu, Tauchman, Gardner.
The best ever.
And by the way, you know who's fourth? Aaron Judge, that guy who's struggling so much.
Yeah. You want to talk about Judge? That's probably a lot of Yankee fans want us to talk about Judge. And people on Twitter, I just had to mute some dude because everything is, why don't you talk about Judge slump? Right. It's not an actionable conversation.
Yeah.
What's going to come from it? Are they going to sit Judge? No. Are they going to start pinch hitting when Judge is at bat? No.
No.
All that can happen is Judge comes out of his slump, which he will. So why are we got to harp on it every single day? Like every day, just Judge is in a slump. He's fine. He'll come out of it. There's no action to addressing it. So it's wasted breath.
Yeah, it's a little over 2 weeks now. About 16 games or so. He's been struggling. About 10 for 60. He's still getting the walks. He's not like striking out at an obtuse rate. I mean, it's not a great rate, but it's nothing uncontrollable. His numbers on the year are still great. His on-base percentage is right around 400. Jimmy, I'll say this, a little what to watch for the upcoming Orioles series. I hope the guys in front of Judge are getting on base because I want the Orioles to pitch to him so he can wake up.
Yeah, they didn't pitch to him at all in Baltimore. That would be annoying if they don't pitch to him again.
Yeah. Please, Orioles, get Judge going.
Yeah. Anything else you want to address before we end this episode?
I don't think so. Doubleheader tomorrow, which snuck up on you and I. Orioles at home, time to go to work, and I think, you know, if you're looking to get a souvenir at the stadium, the next couple days would be a good time to do it.
Yeah, Astros just beat them up 23-2 or something like that. That was crazy. All right. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to leave a rating and a review and 5 stars and blah, 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 we appreciate it. Thank you. Go Yanks. Jake, give them your final famous last words.
Hullabaloo!
Hullabaloo! Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams. All right. You getting kicked out of that room?
Not really. The woman, there's a garbage can that you can kind of see from the window. And she was doing the like, hey, I have to throw this out. But there's like so many garbage cans out there.
She wants to kill you.
Oh no, don't do it.
If it's, let's see, I'm trying to read the chat.
Yeah, people chatting?
Judge was just missing some balls that were almost home runs. Yeah, like he clobbered one to center. I was like, this has to be a home run, right? And it wasn't.
That one was weird. That I think it was more off the end of the bat than it looked like. But yeah, you could tell, like today was the first day that I was like, oh, his timing is just a little off. He had one meatball he gave the good Judge swing on, and he just fouled it off. Jimmy, buddy, just save all the good stuff. Dude, know what gets people out of the slump? Good swinging bunt.
Oh, yeah.
And he hustled it out.
Wheels, man.
Remind me to have that be my what to watch for tomorrow. How about that?
And the worst call by a first base ump ever. Like Ruocco called it safe. I called him safe from my house. It was so obvious.
Yeah.
Imagine before replay, you just have to live with that. The entire world knows you're wrong.
Right?
It's crazy. Mark just said something. Let me move some windows around. Over under 1.5 Judge home runs to left this season.
Ooh.
I'm going over.
I would take the over, yeah.
I think when he finally does it, it's going to be a fucking bomb.
Yeah. Might be a nice I'm back moment.
Yeah. Nice. I never left. You guys want me to do this? Okay, here you go. Bam.
Okay, fine.
Bing, bang, bam. Oh, I'm tired. All right, well, the guys at DAZN want me to go on tonight to debate Mike Trout or Mike Tauchman for MVP.
Nice.
Yeah. I gotta think of some things to say.
Who do you think's going to win it?
This is a good question. What was worse, the first base call today or when they said Maben hit it twice? The only thing with the Maben one is that's usually based off ears, like sound, like you hear two sounds. So if there was a weird sound, but the fact that all the umps couldn't get together, like the four of them, and three overrule, like, no, I didn't hit anything.
I know what the bigger problem is, and I'm pretty sure football has done a decent job of this, is like the football referees have been told, like, if you think this might have happened, to let the play out because you can review it if it didn't. But if you stop it, then you can't. So, like, that's exactly what should have happened in this situation, is they should have let it play out. And, like, if Toronto thought it was, I think they can review afterwards if it's a double hit. But you can't review it, you know what I'm saying. But, I mean, that was just so ridiculous. It wasn't even close.
It was weird. It's very weird. I'm getting tired. I shouldn't be. Did you send me your email?
I just sent it to John Boy Media.
Nice. Sorry, next question. Pull out a Judge quote. Without Talkman, this team would be in last place in the East. Easiest MVP pick.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I might do that. I might just attribute that to Judge. I just texted my good friend Aaron Judge, and he says, do you think that would go over well? Or do you think people would think I was, like, being real, trying to act? Like, I can be like, dude, you don't have Judge's number. I feel like you can't really cater. You can't really cater to dumb people. Actually, I just got off the phone with Aaron Judge, and he said that if Mike Tauchman wasn't on the Yankees, they wouldn't even have a franchise.
Whoa.
We were about to fold. Do you hear on R2C2, they said that, like, when Tauchman wins the belt, he gives the longest, most fired up speeches?
Who does?
Tauchman. It's just perfect. And Britton was like, yeah, we like to make fun of him, but it's actually, like, just so cool to see how happy he is to be here and, like, playing and contributing. But yeah, they give the belt, and Tauchman's speeches are always like, okay, strap in.
Here we go.
Do you guys think Tauchman will be the starting left fielder next year with Stanton DHing? If I've learned one thing, it's to not even try to guess.
Yeah.
I would have guessed that Stanton was playing last year.
Yeah.
It's really like, we're going to have a lot of trouble in the offseason because nothing is going to be worth talking about.
No, I think a little bit of dust settles by then.
How much fucking breath did we spend on Andujar last offseason?
Andujar, he got hurt.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Everyone got hurt. Literally everyone got hurt. Remember in the beginning of the season, we kept thinking, like, 13. There's always got to be 13 guys on the IL, and that was, like, a high number.
Yeah.
We've been sitting at, like, 20.
Yeah.
These days. But we're just numb to it, that we're not even like, we have 20 guys on the IL. Well, that's how we were when we had 13. We're like, 13? Now we're at 20, and we're just like, yeah, it's 20. Yeah.
It's like part of this team's identity.
Dude, it is. Next man up. That's literally the identity.
Savages.
Do you know that Remember the Titans has been on my TV this entire time? I didn't even get distracted once.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, currently it's 17.
17. And I think 25 total different people. It's crazy. All right. Ending the stream. Thanks, patrons.
Thanks, patrons.
See you later.